welcome everyone to our first MIMS virtual user group as part of SSP Innovations. It's been an exciting year for us, and we do have exciting things to share with you today. But first, before we get started, a couple things for housekeeping. One is all phones have been muted as usual. If you do have questions, please email them to mims.support@sspinnovations.com for a timely response. And Zoe will have that email up on I believe, later in the presentation. And then secondly, this webcast is being recorded, and a link to the recording will be emailed to each of you afterwards. So if you need to share it with anyone in your organization, you feel free to do so. So now I'm going to pass it over to Zoe. We'll go ahead and get started right on the hour since it is being recorded. And I'm going to pass it over to Zoe Selkirk, which you all are familiar with. And she's going to introduce today's presenters and let you know what's new in MIMS.
Hi, thanks, Carrie. So hello and welcome to the MIMS virtual user group. Today's presenters, it's going to be myself, Zoe Selkirk, product coordinator, and John Selkirk, MIMS architect. So I have probably just maybe a bit of a repeat of some of that housekeeping. This is being recorded. We're going to publish the recording to MIMS portal and MIMS playlist on SSP's YouTube channel. So we've included some links on the final slide, which we'll leave up for some additional time at the end, just in case you'd like to jot those down. So yes, we do really encourage you to share this recording with anyone who was unable to make it today. So look forward to those links from Carrie when that recording is available. We're going to take up maybe around 20 to 25 minutes of your time today. We definitely welcome the submission of any of your questions to MIMS support after the presentation. And as we've done previously, we will compile any of your general questions into an FAQ, and we'll publish that on MIMS portal along with the recording, just so that we can share everyone's thoughts and all of our answers, because this could be great information that everyone would like to know. So we're very pleased that you're able to join us today to learn more about what's new in MIMS 2019, and that was just released at the end of March. So to break this down, what are we going to be covering today? We've split this into just an overall MIMS 2019 category and then some MIMS mobile specific items. We've also started work on a video library of MIMS functionality, very exciting, starting with these new components, but then also some of our most often used functionality, and we'll cover some of that current content and let you know where to find it. We're also extremely excited to let you know about the MIMS track at Illumini, and that's coming up in just under 3 weeks. PAG has been merged with Illumini, so this is your real opportunity to interact with MIMS product team and ask those questions that really matter to your business. And then the last thing that we'll discuss are some next steps if an upgrade or a migration to MIMS 2019 is something that you would really like to start engaging us on. So let's start with overall what was new in MIMS. First is ArcGIS Runtime 100.4 support. SSP strives to support current Esri versions just to make sure really that our customers have access to the latest functionality and bug fixes that the platform itself provides. So this is always a very essential endeavor. And rest assured, we are currently in the process of evaluating ArcGIS Runtime 100.5, which was just released last week. And this might provide some of the additional functionality that some of our customers were waiting on. So we'll have more information in the coming months on that. Next is our continuing effort to align the expanded SSP product line. MIMS installers underwent a facelift, and that was to include our marketing team's great work in rebranding so that MIMS installers can take their place in the product suite. Lastly, we were able to include more than 20 quality improvements in various areas across the product. And these improvements were the outcome of a new support procedure that we have in place, and it provides a much more dynamic developer response to reported quality issues. It's a real report and get a response endeavor. It's been very valuable. So MIMS 2019 release notes contain that full list of items fixed and the enhancements added. So I definitely encourage you to go to MIMS portal and check out all of the release information. So I'm just going to name these for you because we're going to go into more depth on each one. So new capability in MIMS Mobile 2019. We've got some very valuable additions to that functionality in response to customer requests, and these are a new filter tool, provides very powerful filtering capability, facility inspection filtering using where clauses, that's a great one, and then the ability to disable auto search and identify. So let's take a little bit more depth into what does the filter tool give you. So first, it provides powerful filtering capability, like we said, but it comes with configuration user interface, and that makes it easy for you to create and then maintain these filters. And the tool handles more complex things, such as a feeder filter, which can be very important to our electric customers. And that includes multiple layer filtering. But then this tool can be used to create simple filters for any everyday purpose or special project, and this was a specific request. So what could some of these examples be of things that you could do every day, or something that might be a special project? Maybe you need to filter by pressure zone. You know, the guys in the field need to do that. Maybe they need to have a filter that filters a particular feature by a subtype. Maybe you're an admin person and you need to create a filter that will do it by a specific vendor code or an installation date. As long as there is a common value in any of the layers that you want to filter, you can combine them into anything that really meets that business need. So now I'm going to pass you to John, who has a video demonstration, and this is just to give you a visual on some of the possibilities.
Thanks, Zoe. So let's look at this demo. So within MIMS Mobile, what we're going to do is take a look at the new filter panel. You'll see that we're currently filtering on the full extent of the data. And there's a drop-down list at the top that has all the configured layers that we're going to filter on, including filtering by circuit ID on the feeder. So after entering a partial circuit search, we're going to search on 1, 2, 3, and that will give us the results. We can start adding those matches to the list of information we want to filter on. So we're adding 1, 2, 3, 1, 1 through 3, 2, and then we'll add 1, 2, 3, 3. And you can see as we're doing that, it's adding that highlight to the map in a color that's default. And it's giving you an indication of that in the bottom list in color. We can actually change that highlight color, and it's flipping through a standard high contrast colors that are done for you. You don't have to select it, it's being done for you automatically. And you can zoom to selected circuits in this case and look at the color information. As we start to pan around, you'll see that the actual highlighting is not being refreshed. That was one of the things we've been asked for. Keep the actual highlighting retained as we zoom and look at the data. And we can go into each one of those circuits and the layers that are configured against them and turn the visibility on and off if you want to look at a set of particular assets. So if we look at this switch, for example, we can flip the color to something that's high contrast and you can see them easier. We can also zoom to selected features or filter by the actual map extent. So we've got filter by map extent turned on. What we're going to do is go back up to the search, do that same 1, 2, 3 search again, but you'll see we'll only get 2 matches. That's because that's the circuits that are in this map extent, and we can add or remove those circuits from the list of highlighted circuits here. Again, we can look at all the information if we'd like to. Turning on and off visibility, all of that functionality is exactly the same, whether you do the extent of the data or the map extent. And then finally, we can actually zoom to the full extent of all of those circuits, in this case highlighted, and we see that information. So that's filter. It was requested by our customers. It is one of those gap items that we've been asked to cover between GoSync, Mapbook, and MIMS Mobile. It does include a configuration user interface that allows you to actually go in and configure these. It isn't just for filtering feeders. It has really powerful capabilities around what you actually filter on. It allows you to use your existing data, so there are no schema requirements on using this information. And it has capabilities around administration, so looking at manufacturer or vendor codes, and field solutions, so the circuit ID or doing any type of search on the assets that you want. And it allows you to visually look at the data in a different way. So filter on circuit, it allows you to say, hey, only let me look at the switches, for example. It gives the user nice ways of visualizing that data.
Okay, thanks, John. So next, we're going to take a look at the added support we have for inspection filtering using where clauses. Some of you may already be familiar with this concept in GoSync Mapbook. However, when we combine this with MIMS Mobile's task-based facility inspection workflow, it creates additional efficiencies by filtering out any features by their subtype or domain that don't meet the inspection criteria. It then improves the performance on the client by generating fewer inspection features on selection. And then it also allows you to match the inspections that you create to specific forms that you can just generate through our configuration tool. You can have a different form matched to a specific feature type. And really that in turn decreases the risk of returning spurious inspection data back from the field. So this feature is easily configured and it can be added to your existing facility inspections, the ones that you've already got in use. And we really wanted to show you how easy this is to implement. So I'll pass you back to John. He has another video demonstration.
Okay. So with inspection filtering, what we're going to start off with is MIMS configuration. So within MIMS configuration, anyone that's used it before, this will look familiar. We're doing an inspection task type with inspections within it. And you'll see that the facility options, there's a new option in there called where clause. And we're filtering in this case based on the material, concrete, wood, and steel. And we also have another inspection task type that's configuring it or filtering it based on the pole size and class and height, 35 foot class 5 or 45 foot class 5 in this case. And we also have a red line type in there just to show you. Flipping over to MIMS Mobile, we're going to start in a pole material task type, select a bunch of poles. You'll see that it's actually being categorized as its material type. So there's concrete there, and we select one and it shows it on the map. And you can even come up and we'll just get rid of all of those material as candidate lists and look at wood, and you can see the same information. So a great way of categorizing inspection tasks based on anything you would like. Pole height's a very interesting one. We'll select that task type, select a bunch more poles, and you'll see it's filtered it down to a few poles because there was only some matches in there that were 35 foot class 5 or 45 foot class 5, and you can see that there. Okay, so that was a quick look at it. Know that it was requested by our customers. Where clause was really important, especially in scenarios like subtypes and domains where you want to do that. And going through when we start thinking about utility and network in the coming weeks and months, that's going to be really important there too. It does use existing subtypes and domains if you wish. You can see that it's really easy to set up, even augment existing inspections with this where clause if you wish to. And it allows you, based on that edit framework capability of inspection tasks and layers within it, to have a very catered inspection form for a specific layer or even a specific subtype within a layer, for example, that's focused on doing that inspection. It allows you to streamline the workflow and get performance efficiencies out of that. And ultimately, you're reducing the candidate list of inspections down to the ones that you really want to inspect for that particular task type. Great functionality.
Okay, thank you. So we're going to move on here now to the configuring the identify auto research, and John gets a break for a moment since this is just a simple tag and it actually takes about 10 seconds to implement, so we didn't think you'd really need a video on this one. So lastly, we have support for this simple tag and identify, and that means that the admin user can basically disable auto search and identify. Now it can be applied per configuration group. It is not a global setting. And it just basically stops the identify list from auto refreshing on a map extent change. So where is this useful? It's useful if you've got some particularly feature dense data that takes a while to return things to the identify list. So it's going to improve performance by only returning those features that are actually selected. So if you do have user groups with a preference or they have some really, really feature dense data and they want the performance to improve, we can basically turn off that auto search so that it maintains that feature list until your user makes another intentional reselection So it's a very simple but highly effective enhancement, again, that was directly requested by customers just to give you that flexibility where you need it. So this one did not show up on the agenda. This is a bonus slide. We were not sure that absolutely everybody knew that we released support for hyperlinks in MIMS 2018.3, and that went out in November of last year. And we were highly pleased to release this, as it's one of the most often requested gap items between GoSync Mapbook and MIMS Mobile. This tool, again, comes with configuration user interface. It allows you to easily configure full URLs or even access local files. Your field crews often need access to online content like customer records, maybe local documents like reference cards and substation drawings, just to do their job, their daily workflow. So in addition to having this information and these links available in their own panel, MIMS Mobile has also been augmented to support full URLs and identify if they exist in your existing data. So there's two dialog options available with this to configure, and John's going to now demonstrate how that works.
Okay. So once again, looking in MIMS Mobile, we'll bring up MIMS Mobile, and you'll see there's a Hyperlinks map tool. So selecting on that, we're actually going to look at an area of the map, so select an area of the map, and a dynamic panel will appear on the left-hand side. That's showing the hyperlinks. It's showing the layer, the display fields, the actual hyperlink field name, and then the hyperlink value. And if I hover over one of these hyperlinks, it's identifying it on the map. I can sort based on the layer name, the actual display name, the field name of the hyperlink, or the hyperlink value itself, and that's actually really powerful for looking at the information. And when I click on one of those hyperlinks, it displays it. So in this case, it was actually a web page that was displayed. Moving over into identify, we can actually come down and look at the gas pipe in this case. We'll select the gas pipe, and this gas pipe has hyperlinks in the attribute data. Clicking on this local hyperlink, you'll see we're bringing up the default viewer, which is Windows Photo Viewer for that, displaying a service card. There is another option for doing hyperlinks, so we'll use that same workflow. We'll select an area on the map, and rather than doing that panel, it's actually going to bring up a modal interface. The benefit of this one is that you can actually resize it and reposition it over the map or anywhere else that you want. It still has the same functionality in terms of sorting, hovering over and showing it on the map, and also clicking on it to get some information like the awesome SSP Innovations website. And that's just another option that you have in terms of showing that hyperlink information. Both can be configured, again, configuration group level. So that was released in 2018.3 in November. It does include configuration within MIMS configuration. It has those two options. Do you want a panel, just like it's common, or do you want that dialog popping up that gives you more screen real estate if you wish? It supports online content if you have connectivity, and it supports that local content that can be synchronized down, service cards, PDFs, wherever you like. It does use the local default viewer for that asset type, TIFFs and the Windows Photo Viewer in that example, but it can be overwritten, and you can say, hey, for this type, launch this particular application. It works with your existing data. It just has to have hyperlinks in it. We don't have any schema updates for that, and you saw that it's supported in Identify, which was one of those requested items.
Okay, thank you. So on to MIMS video playlist. So the videos that we have used today, they are all part of our initiative to create content that showcases the features and provide you with tools to learn and train. But what we're also trying to do is help you visualize what needs you can solve with this functionality for your organization. So the video playlist is available in two locations. One is MIMS Portal and the other is SSP's YouTube channel. On MIMS Portal, each video is embedded into an accompanying descriptive article, such as the user guide or the implementation guide, wherever it best fits. And then we also have it in a video library category for quick access, so you don't have to go hunt and peck for video content. On SSP's YouTube channel, we have a MIMS playlist, and that features the same videos. But we do have a link in that video library on MIMS Portal, and that will take you directly to YouTube so that you can access it, share the playlist at any time. And to get there, that would just be mimsportal.sspinnovations.com. So before we discuss some next steps, we wanted to talk about Illuminate, and that's on May 6th through 8th in Denver, very soon. MIMS traditional yearly user group PAG has been merged with Illuminate, and we did notify customers last year that the last PAG would be the last official one in November, and we were going to have an awesome event at Illuminate in May. So that means that this really is your opportunity to talk to MIMS developers, to get the insight that you need on where MIMS is headed, and then to provide your valuable input on how we can deliver the mobile utility solutions that fit your needs. So we wanted to quickly cover what is in the MIMS track this year, and this is a new track at Illuminate. So first, it's really an increasingly prescient topic for all of our existing GoSync MapBook users, and that is migrating to MIMS Mobile, and that's why we're putting so much emphasis on decreasing those gaps. We will start the MIMS track just with a brief discussion on what's available in MIMS Mobile and where our progress is on gaps, but then we have some really useful information on what steps you can take to plan your migration. So if you're anywhere close to needing to do that, knowing how close you are to that migration pathway, come along and definitely come to that session where we can give you some really useful information. Next, we've got an update from Nicole Rowe on design and as-built. We've made very important headway on graphical work design, and Nicole has the latest on how MIMS can streamline that workflow for you. So there's this amongst some other sessions that you could definitely come and learn from at Illuminate. And last, and really this is our most important topic to a lot of our customers, and that is MIMS Roadmap. And it always is an interactive session where we'll share with you what's next in MIMS, and then we get that important feedback from you on what you really need for your business. So we encourage you highly to attend and learn not only about MIMS, but also about that broadening ecosystem of products that SSP has to offer. And this year, we're also very pleased to be able to introduce Christopher Ash, and he's our new Vice President of Product Management. And he's going to be working extremely hard to make SSP's product vision a reality.
Thanks, Zoe. And in addition to the MIMS track, there's many great sessions, including managing critical infrastructure and utility network sessions. I think you would get great value from this community. MIMS is involved in a bunch of those sessions, including the plenary, where you'll get a really good insight into how the MIMS product line would actually solve real business solutions in your utility. So once again, I encourage you to attend it. As a vendor last year, we went to Illuminate, and it was great content and great time. So.
And if you haven't already signed up for that, I put the website on here. You can go to sspilluminate.com and take a look at the full agenda just to see, how many sessions you would be really interested in. And there's info on there on how you can register. So what were these next steps? The first one is just really arm yourself with the information that you need to see if you can take advantage of this upgrade. So first of all, visit MIMS portal. Does it have enough information on here now for that last piece just to get you moving towards migration? It was just what you needed. Go onto MIMS portal, and if you don't have a login, MIMS support can set that up. And as Carrie mentioned, that is mims.support@sspinnovations.com. Take a look at this playlist that we have on SSP's YouTube channel. Familiarize yourself with the new capability. Maybe it was that last thing that you were looking for. And we'll be building on this library going forward. So please check back regularly to see what new content we have available. If you do have any questions, they can be specific, they can be general. Please send them to MIMS support, and we will publish them along with our answers so that we can share all of that knowledge. And again, come and connect with us at Illuminate and meet Christopher Ash. This really is your chance to stay involved and have that voice that you like to have in the MIMS roadmap. So as always, contact your account representative. And this is the real key turning point. They are ready to talk with you about your specific needs and how SSP can help plan your upgrade or migration. And we do actually have colleagues ready to help you evaluate if this is the right time for you to make that move. So just with all that, I will say again, thank you very much for taking time from your busy day-to-day to find out what's new in MIMS. I can't stress enough that your participation definitely matters, and the MIMS team would look forward to meeting you at Illuminate if you can make it. So please check out mimsportal.sspinnovations.com or the SSP playlist or the MIMS playlist on YouTube and let us know your questions. Thanks for your time.